Hello, I'm Karen, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how to make this lovely little tea cozy that looks like a strawberry. Okay, as you can see, it's got a bottom piece on it. This is actually attached to it, so it's a coaster, and so when you actually lift up the pot, okay, it's awkward to show you, but obviously that comes down. You scoop it underneath and put your hand underneath to be able to place it down. Okay, and I'm going to be sharing with you how to do that. I'm going to just show you one in, oops daisy, in blue with a different bottom on it, just so that you can see what they look like. Okay, and you can see that they're actually attached to this, to the actual cozy. Now originally I did make, I'm just going to show you, this is my biggest one. Oh, this is a big tea cozy, big teapot. I did make this one. This is the original design. This is for the large one, but because it was so awkward to be able to share with you on a video how to actually do all of that, I decided that I would do the strawberry one. And I just want to say that adding the little coaster to the bottom was not my idea. It was actually a friend at work, her name's Claire. She's friends of my friend called Becky, and it was her mum, who's called Jenny, who actually designed having a coaster on the bottom, and I just decided that I would make mine look like a strawberry. Okay, maybe as well I should show you as well. Just take this off. I've made them for different style teapots, so this is my teapot for this one. And if I just get you this one here, oops, got too many things on the go, take this one off. You can see this is a different shaped teapot in comparison. The handles actually fit slightly, it's the variation at the bottom there. So I've made this design because this one's closer to the bottom, as you can see. Okay, so I've made the different design. It's one design, sorry, that will fit different design teapots. So if you've never done corner to corner crochet before, I'm going to actually demonstrate how to do the corner to corner pattern first, just so that you can actually learn how to do that as well. So you can begin with a slip knot, or I'm going to begin with a twist. I'm going to hold on to the bottom of my yarn here, and I'm going to begin with a chain of 6. So that's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put my thumb on the third stitch, 4, 5, 6. The reason why I put my thumb on, sorry, the third chain, is because that's the one I'm going to work into, because you need to work in the 4th chain down from the hook, which is also the 3rd chain up. I'm using the double crochet if you're in America, or it's the treble crochet stitch if you're in the UK. And we're going to make 1 stitch in each of these 3 chains. Okay, so it looks like this. Now I will say, when you first start actually making these don't look as very square, but they do get more square as they get bigger. It's weird. Anyway, so I'm going to go up a row. So that's 1, 2, 3. Put my thumb there. 4, 5, 6. Yarn over into that first chain that I was holding, so which is that's the 4th chain down, or the 3rd chain up, and then we're going to work into the other 2 chains as well. And we're using the same stitch throughout this one, except for the slip stitch. Okay, so you end up with 2 pieces like that. Now what you want to do is you want to turn the bottom bit over so that the like signpost facing in the opposite direction, and then you want this side to go up to here, and we're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space here, so it looks like that. Okay, and then we're going to make a chain of 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to work 3 of these stitches, which is either the double, like I said, if you're in the US, or the treble if you're in the UK, and we're working 3 of these into that chain 3 space. So you end up with what looks like a strange little boot. Now we're going to go up a row, so we're going to chain 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yarn over into the 3rd chain up, or the 4th chain down, and we'll make the stitches. So that's 1 to that chain, that's 2, and 3. The same again. Now we've got to these two pieces like this, we turn the bottom portion over, turn this to one side and slip stitch into the chain 3 space. And now we need to make a chain of 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, and each of these sections that you're making, they're called blocks. Okay, so this is one block that I'm making, so it's got 3 stitches into this chain 3 space and the chain 3 up that I've made, so that's one block, and I'm going to join it to the next block. So I'm going to slip stitch, and then we're going to just finish to go up one more, so that's 1, 2, 3, do the last block on the top, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so just do one more row up, so we need to do chain 6, 1, 2, 3, put my thumb there, 4, 5, 6, yarn over into that chain there, so that's 1, 2 and 3. And now we've got to that same stage again, so we're going to turn the bottom portion over and slip stitch into this one here. Okay, and then we're going to go chain 3, work 3 stitches into the chain 3 space, that's 1, 2 and 3, slip stitch into the next block, chain 3 and work 3 stitches into the chain 3 space, so that's 1 excuse me, 2 and 3. Then we're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space there, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 and work 3 stitches in the chain 3 space. That's 1, 2 and 3. So as you can see, we've got a triangle shape. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks up, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks across. You need to make the square so that it's actually, so you're going to go all the way up, so you've got 9 blocks up and 9 blocks across the bottom. When you get to that point, you start closing up this square. So I'm going to show you how to close the square. So we go 1, 2, 3, then we turn our work, slip stitch into this chain 3 space here, and now we're still working effectively, we're going from the bottom to the top all the time, and then we just do the same process of actually filling in these blocks. So that's 1, 2 and 3, slip stitch into there, 1, 2, 3, and then do 3 into here, 1, 2 and 3, slip stitch into the next block, chain 3 and work 3 stitches into this block, 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to slip stitch to the top. Now we know that we're not going to build up anymore, so we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn the work, slip stitch into the chain 3 space there. So we've now got this shape. There's 1, 2, 3, and we'll do 3 again, 1, 2 and 3, slip stitch into this one, 1, 2, 3, and make the 3 stitches, 1, 2 and 3. We're going to slip stitch into the top, do chain of 3, 1, 2, 3, turn the work, slip stitch into the chain 3 space, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, make the last 3 stitches. That's 1, 2, oops a daisy, I've got tangled up, and 3. Then we're going to slip stitch into this top one there, and to finish it off we do 1, 2, 3, and we turn and we finish in the chain 3 space, so in the corner. Excuse me. So you end up with your square, okay, and you always end up with your tail end at the bottom left and you finish at the top right. So what I've done is I've actually prepared my squares. Okay, so when you actually get to the actual end, so let me just get this right way around. This is the tail end where I started, and this is the loop of the where I finished, and you can see I've got some leftover yarn. And what I've done, I've written in my pattern to use it so it's 10 hooks long, but it's easier if you actually go from corner to corner and you measure that way round, so you can measure how many you've got left over to make yourself. You need between 7 and 10 of those measurements there of this yarn left over. Okay, so you need to make yourself 2 pieces exactly the same. This one I've not finished this corner because I want to show you what you do. So to start off with, I'm going to just get this the right way round. I hope you can see this all right. So when you've finished your work and you're at the top corner, you'll see that you've got these chain 3 loops all the way across the top. You've got chain 3 loops all the way down the right hand side. On the left hand side there isn't, well there is alternate chain 3 loops, and the same across the bottom. You need to have your pieces this way round. So I'm just going to finish this one off to show you what you do. So you go 1, 2, 3, you finish off this block, 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space like I said before, 1, 2, 3, you turn your work and you finish on this corner. So that's the same corner as what's there. So I've got all my chain 3s across the top, all my chain 3s down the side, alternate ones that way around. So you need to have your pieces the same way to begin joining them together. What we're going to be doing is we're working up. So this is the bottom of the tea cozy, this is going to be the top. Okay, so what we're going to do is slip stitch through the chain 3 space of the bottom one. We'll just slip stitch those together, pull it nice and tight. Then you're going to make a chain of 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're going to go between the blocks now. So in these spaces, not between these, not the chain there. We're going to go between that block there. And then we look at the bottom, and we're going to go between the bottom block and the next one up into there. Oh, I've made a mistake on that one. Look. There we go. So that's nice and tight. Now I want to go 1, 2, 3. Rather than slip stitching in the front, we're going to slip stitch just into the back. Okay, because we're going to leave the hole to put the handle or the spout through. So we've done a chain of 3, slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to slip stitch between these 2 blocks at the back. 1, 2, 3. Oops. And into the third one. Okay, so you've actually done 3 at the back. So you've got these little chains here, so they match. Now you want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we want to then join this back together. So we actually want to go into this one here, but we want to make sure this matches up. The easiest way to do this is to count down from these blocks. So we've got 4, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want to go in between that one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and in between that one there, and slip stitch to join. And this will give you the opening with the chain 3 all the way around the edge. Okay, and then we want to join the rest of it to the top. So we want to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to slip stitch through the front, through the back. 1, 2, 3. Oops, just need to pour some yarn through. Whoa, it's the end of my yarn. It's got, oh, it's, no, not a tangle in my yarn. Please don't do that. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch between the next 2 blocks of each, the front and the back. 1, 2, 3, through the next one, through the next one, 1, 2, 3. Then we want to go through the end chain 3 space and into the very top where we actually, which is actually the bottom where we actually began that particular square. I'm going to slip stitch into there, and then this one we're just going to cut off. Okay, so the first one you leave the tail end for. So now you've got it joined this side. So now you want to keep it this way round. I want to tip it over. That's the tail end that I began with. This is the tail end that I was working with. So what I want to do is just want to pull that tighter, put my hook through that loop there, pull this tight so it's on there, and now we're going to do the same. We're working up still from the bottom to the top. Okay, so we do the same process. So we're going to slip stitch it together there. I hope you can see all right because I can't see my camera properly. And then we want to go 1, 2, 3, slip stitch between the bottom one and the next one along, and it's 1, 2, 3, and then we're just going to work between the back ones now. I thought I'd made a mistake on the other side but I haven't. I'm going to slip stitch through the back there, and then it's 1, 2, 3, through this one here, so that's 2 blocks up, 1, 2, 3, and we've gone 3 blocks up, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then we want to go 1, 2, 3, and like I said before, the easiest way to do this is to count the blocks down. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, come through the front, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, and through the back, just so that you know they're actually, it just makes it so you're equal, because sometimes you can be wonky as you're joining. And then go 1, 2, 3, slip stitch through the front and through the back because we're joining it together. So we've got our hole for our spout or our handle there. 1, 2, 3, through the front, through the back, in between the blocks. 1, 2, 3, through the front and through the back. 1, 2, 3, and then we want to go through that chain 3 loop at the end, through the very beginning stitch that we actually did at the end there. Okay, so we've got to that bit there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to this is the bottom, this is the top, so we're going to close it up. And what we're going to do is we're going to just go straight in between the blocks and do a slip stitch. It will leave big stitches at the top, okay, but that's fine because we're going to work in them again. So we're just going to literally go slip stitch in between each of these blocks. We don't need to do any counting. What you can do is, as you're doing it, you can push this block towards you so that they're bulging this way around. It does help to get a neater finish on the top if you do it really slowly and take your time, but I'm doing a video and so I can't always get the same effect that way around. So here, now we've come to a join, what we want to do is we've got these chain 3 loops around the side there, so we want to come, we've got the space between the block there, so we want to come through those chain 3 loops and do that slip stitch there, then tip it over, and then we're going to work in between the next 2 blocks. Okay, so we're going to go all the way to the other side. You know when you get to the beginning or the end of this one, because you've got 2 on the side that you don't finish on and there's only 1 on the other side. So okay, so we're just going to join all of these together. And so when you do this, when you look at the top, you can see they're actually quite big stitches, but say don't need to worry about it because we're going around a second time. So when you get to this last one, we got one tail end, we've got the join there, so we want to go through those 2 chain pieces that way around, and slip stitch there, and then you want to work into the next one that's easiest to you. You might find it's that one, or you might find it's this one. I'm going into this one. You're going to go into there and slip stitch again, and then we're going to skip a stitch and slip stitch, and we're going to do that all the way around. So skip a stitch, and underneath the 2 strands of the, it just makes the slip stitching is easier to work into. So we're skipping this one into the next one. I'm going to skip that one and into that one there, and then we're going to miss this one. I'm coming to this one here, so I've gone into a wrong bit there. Well, it's just the way that that's gone there, don't worry about that. There, skipping that one into the next one, skip this stitch into the next, skip this one, and we're getting right near the beginning point. Can I get underneath? Yeah, underneath the 2 strands there, and then we're going to skip one, and we should end up with skipping that one there, when we're going to end up right at the same point where we've got this tail end. And then, did I just split my yarn? No. And then we're going to pull that all the way through. Okay, and then you're going to get your darning needle and thread your yarn, because we're going to just sew up the end now. So as you can see, you end up with a hole which is like, I don't know, I can't even say it's a particular coin size. Got a hole about that big. But what you're going to do now is you're going to go underneath these slip stitches that you've done. So you're going to go into the actual hole, and then you're going to come back out. I think it's called a running stitch, where you just go, so you go in and then out. And remember, you always know where the beginning is of this one, because one side's got the 2, so that's only halfway, and the other side's only got 1. So you're going to go in and out. Try not to split your yarn as you're going in and out, otherwise it's going to make it harder to pull tie. There we go. So we're at the beginning bit there. I suppose I could actually do one more, but what you do is you just pull that tight, okay, and then we're just going to just do a nice tight knot that side, and just wrap it around. I've wrapped mine around twice. It helps the knot stay tighter. Okay, I'm just going to take the needle off so I don't lose it, and I'm going to tie the other side. So that's like that, and then just do that second tie of that knot on there, just to make sure it's really nice and secure. And because this is inside my tea cosy, I'm not going to worry about sewing in the ends. I'm just going to just cut them off there, and then, oops, that stuck to that. Then we turn it, excuse me, we turn it inside out. Okay, and you end up with, you've got your hole there and your hole there, the opposite side. And if we just get the teapot and just demonstrate that when you go to put it on, if you put it on and you put it on the spout end first, and then put the handle through, and then you can put that on, and there you go, you've made yourself, I'm just going to tip it upside down just so you can straighten it out, but you've made yourself your basic tea cosy. Okay, so you can decorate these tea cozies how you like, but I also wanted to demonstrate to you, so I'm going to take it back off, how to make the little coaster that goes on the bottom. Now what I've done is I've actually already prepared myself a hexagon, and because I knew I wasn't going to have enough time to do everything in this video, so what I've done is I'm making a second video. I'll just show you for demonstration purposes. There we go, I've got a stack of them, so I'm going to show you how to make sunflowers. Okay, these are actually little coasters, so you've got different sizes, but this coaster is what I made to use for the bottom to turn it into a strawberry. Now I know I'm doing yellow and green, and you may say there isn't a yellow strawberry, however I discovered that there is. So that's nice. Right, so and what I'm going to do as well in the sunflower video is I'm going to demonstrate how to actually attach this to the tea cozy as well in that video. So if you go over to the sunflower video, you can see the rest of this bit as well. So you make your hexagon, you need to have 42 stitches all the way around, and then you're going to slip stitch into the actual coaster, and then you're going to get your tea cozy once it's this way around, and we're going to, so this is the middle, I want to go to the stitch to the right, and want to go, so put my hook through the blocks because we're going to join it on. I'm going to slip stitch, so we're going to go through there all the way through as a slip stitch, and pull that nice and tight. Make a chain of 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip 2 stitches into the third, then we're going to go into this join area here. There's like a little loop bit there, yeah, so you can actually go into that loop portion there, or you can actually go in between, which side you prefer. I'm just going to go into one side because it's easier, and slip stitch that into place. Make sure that's nice and tight. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 into the third stitch along, in between the next 2 blocks. So we've actually got 3 parts where this actually attaches. You can see that way around, where it attaches to the actual cozy. Woo! So from now on we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're just going to slip stitch into the actual coaster. So we're going to skip 2 into the third, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches into the third, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches into the third, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 into the third, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 into the third, 1, 2, 3. I'm getting tangled up, hang on a minute, thank you. Excuse me. 1, 2 into the third, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 into the third, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches into the third, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches into the third, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches into the third, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2 into the third, and then we do 1, 2, 3, and we've got 2 stitches left, and we're back to the beginning where we did that very first slip stitch into the actual cozy. I'm going to go into that slip stitch but not through the cozy, and slip stitch there. So we make ourselves it so it's more round. Now we're going to chain 1, turn, so now we're going to work in the back of it because we want the petals or the leaves. If we just get my other one, so you can see you end up with the back of the work towards the tea cozy, but these are the right way round, and that's the right way round, but back to front, but so that they curve around the bottom of the teapot. So to make these petals or these little leaf pieces, we need to slip stitch into the chain 3 space, chain 1, make a half double crochet or a half treble crochet, then we make a double or a treble depending where you're from, and then we make a chain 2, so that's 1, 2. I'm going to slip stitch, we're going to go into the top of the stitch, and also it is actually technically into the post, and I know actually when I was writing my pattern I actually put slip stitch into the half double crochet and the double crochet in the American version, but it's your slip stitch in there. Okay, so then you want to make another double or a treble, and then a half. We go through all three, make a chain one, and slip stitch back into that same chain 3 space to make yourself these little leaflets or petals, because they would be petals on the sunflower. Okay, so I'm going to go into the next one and show you again. So you slip stitch, chain one, we're doing the half double or half treble. If I just do it all in one version for each petal, okay, so that's the double, and we do chain 2, slip stitch into the top of the stitch and the post, and slip stitch in all the way through. Okay, and then we're going to do the double and the half, chain 1 and slip stitch. Okay, oh, my yarn's got stuck. And this one I'm going to do it in English terms. Okay, so we're still going to slip stitch. Sometimes they call that the single crochet. Chain 1, half treble, treble, chain 2, slip stitch, treble, half, chain 1 and slip stitch. Okay, so we keep going all the way around your tea cozy. Now, where's the one that I prepared earlier? This is a red one. I didn't do my video with red because it just didn't show up very well. But I wanted to show you what happens when, so you're working all the way around. Yeah, so we've gone all the way around, you've got that there. And then if I just put that on, move that out of my way so we've got some more. Okay, so what we're going to do is just to show you how to do this back piece, how it works. So when you're going to slip stitch, chain 1, do the half double or the half treble, do the double or the treble, chain 2, slip stitch, and then we're going to do the double or the, see, it's awkward because of which country you're in, what you're watching, and the half, chain 1, slip stitch, and then we've got 2 more to go. So the way it sits, you see, it's quite nice, it falls lovely, the way that you can actually do these little leaves or petals. And chain 2, slip stitch into these pieces here, and then half double, chain 1, slip stitch. And I've got one more to do. So I'm going to go into that last one, chain 1, half treble, treble, chain 2, slip stitch, treble. If you're in the UK, that was a double. If you're in the US, the half double or half treble, chain 1, slip stitch into there, and then you're going to slip stitch into the very beginning one that you worked. Yeah, and pull that through. Okay, and so that's how you end up making it so that the petals sit the right way round as you put it on. And we shall demonstrate. We'll use the blue teapot this time. And so you put it on spout end first. Okay, oh, got a little bit on that, and then that sits underneath the bottom, so you make your little strawberry. Okay, so I suppose realistically we need to sew the ends in and just finish it all off. Okay, so that's how to make this beautiful little cozy, and I'm just going to show you to be able to just sew the ends in, just so that you can see how neat it all looks when it's all finished. And this end, what we do is we just work it into the inside, the bit that's going to be nearest to the actual teapot itself. So we're going to come into that stitch there. I like to try and follow one where I can actually follow like a little row. I've got a big gap there, I want to come back, I don't want to see such a big strand of yarn. There, we tuck that into there, pull that tail end through. Don't pull it too tight because it scrunches it all up. Get the scissors, cut that off. And the same with the middle piece, pull it nice and tight because that's your centre point. And we're just going to thread that through there. And I think we'll just come up this line here. Try and come underneath like one loop of the strands as you're actually working your yarn in. There. And then pull the tail end a bit through. Which is the tail end? That side. This one. I like to pull my work back just to make sure it's not scrunched up. Cut that off, and that's all nice and neat. Now if you want to gift this to somebody, what you do is you have your tea cozy, you tuck this bit inside there. Okay, so when it comes to actually gifting it, you can actually gift it so it lays nice and flat. So if you wanted to stick it in the post to be able to gift somebody, or to wrap up, it does actually wrap up beautifully. Okay, so there you go, that's how to make this version. I have actually written patterns to be able to make the bigger tea cozy, and like I said, I'm going to make the other video to actually show you how to make the sunflowers in that one. Okay, so thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all the lovely comments that you put on my videos. I'm afraid that YouTube's changed the way that it sets everything out now, so I actually can't find the comments at the moment in time to be able to do anything back, so I do apologise about that. And I just want to say that normally in my videos I like to do a little bit of history, but I didn't have time to be able to share the history of the tea cozy and the teapot in this particular video, but I am going to do a video on that. Okay, so thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, thank you for subscribing, and enjoy your cup of tea. Bye for now.